I am so excited to dive into yet another beautiful conversation with a mission maker and a certified brain game coach, Arianna. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here today.
I am super blessed that you asked me to be here and that I get the opportunity to share my story because it's amazing.
It's amazing. All brain game stories are amazing. I love it. So tell us, what was life like before the brain game for you?
Life before brain game is a life where I was searching what was who I was. Having four kids, have served a lot of my time to others, and I forgot a little bit about who I was and what I
Mm,
wanted. I'm always focused on what my kids want, what my husband wants, what other people want, and I lost my my sparkle. So
mhm.
that was the main reason, and I was searching for that for, I would say, a couple years already, maybe about 5 years, and I was doing all kind of personal development.
Mhm.
And every time I found something that I needed to work on, I thought like,
Right.
oh, I need to fix this, and then life will be better.
Right.
And I kept fixing and fixing and fixing, and there was no end.
Mhm.
That was life before.
Right? Like you're always broken and there's always something to fix.
Yeah, and then in the meantime, serving others.
Right.
So it's getting pretty exhausting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Sounds exhausting.
It was, however, I love the kids dearly,
Yeah.
and I love that I could spend so much time with them,
Mhm.
for them, because they taught me a lot as well. So there's nothing that was hard to take care of them, but my kids will leave sometime as well, right? You only
Mhm.
have a certain time with them.
Mhm.
So what after? So I can better start thinking about it now. They are all teenagers now. They start to do their own things, get their own
Mhm.
responsibilities. So they don't want to do everything with me anymore.
Right?
Yeah, so I
So
needed to find something that was fulfilling me.
yeah. So tell us what you found on the other side of brain game.
The other side of brain game brought clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity in who I was, what I wanted. It was bringing me the the all the joy over my whole life in perspective. So I had lots and lots of times in my life where I was joyful and happy, and then I was serving others again, and then I kind of lost it, and then I kept back again, and then because of all the personal development, I started to fix things all the time, and that didn't make me feeling better. So with brain game, I started to find that we don't have to fix anything because we are whole, we are complete. We only need to see that. So
Yeah.
brain game started to show me not just who I was and what I wanted, but started to show me that everything I need, I have already.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And I think, you've defined the brain game really well there because we go through this 10-week journey. And, a lot of us coaches were like, how do we explain the brain game? And I think that's the key right there is it helps you to understand who you are and what you want, but that there's nothing to fix. You're not broken.
Yes, yes. So life after brain game is no more personal development. I
Yeah.
keep learning,
Mhm.
but there's nothing to fix. I only need to dig a little bit deeper where it was hidden in me.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. So good. So tell us what inspired you to become a brain game coach?
Oh, I just said.
Right? All of the above.
Everybody needs to know this.
Mhm.
And I emigrated from the Netherlands to Canada, and we started, I kind of over again here with four kids in new schools, in new environments. And I spent a lot of time in volunteer work at school. And I was completely surprised when I was helping out in grade 8, where I asked people, "So, what are your dreams? What do you want to be?" And they were like, "I don't know. I
Mhm.
have no idea." And that was the spark in everything, that I make sure that my kids know their dreams, that they are allowed to dream. And you know what? In our house, we dream so big that some people are really like, "How will you do that?" And I don't know. I don't know how, but that is my dream. I It is so funny how you can see that with the brain game, that you start to allow yourself to dream, and that your dreams get big and bold, and that your kids start to do the same, that you're like, really? And then sometimes I'm like, how do you do that? I like, oh no, no,
No, no.
you just do it, right? And I think that is the biggest reason we all should trust who we are, and what we want is available.
Yes.
We just need to trust it. So
Yes.
that's why we need to share it. We need to share it with everyone, because everybody deserves to dream and to get it.
Oh, yes, I'm covered in goosebumps right now. And what I love is that you've brought your kids into this experience with you. When you were certifying to become a coach, you were teaching your teenagers alongside. And I just love that you've done that. Tell us what it was like teaching your kids as you learned to teach.
That makes it a little bit harder, I think.
Mhm.
However, because why was it harder? Because there was no day that we didn't bring game, right?
All
it
day long.
wasn't it wasn't about just a weekly session of bringing the information to you and then do it. No, it was all about like, um, get the awareness even more, or just talk about T-Rex, dolphin.
Right.
Those little reminders are so
Mhm.
important. And you know what is the most beautiful thing? I brought in my two oldest, and then while we were doing that, my two youngest were like, "Why don't I get that?"
Ah,
So they are
uh-huh.
like, "I want that too."
Yeah.
And I told them that by three in the house of the six that we have, having done brain game already, we all live it.
Mhm.
So they don't really have to do the whole course to have the nuggets of it, all the fun things, right? They don't
Yeah,
have to do the work yet and the responsibility and everything. That is just because we live it. It
yeah,
will be automatically going to them too. So any mom or
yeah.
any dad
Yes.
to do it, to not just be better in business or in life, but also to give it to their kids.
Yeah,
That's so important. So
yes.
that's why I do it. And if I can get any younger person or teenager with it, I love to take them with me.
Yeah,
But it's even better if the parents do it and then teach it all to their kids.
yeah. I love that so much, and what a blessing to live in a household where you all speak the same language, the language of brain game, and you're all living it and speaking it and breathing it, like the whole family just in that same space. I love that so much. So as you're going through boot camp, you go to teach your very first session. What were you feeling right before you taught that? And what was it like as you taught it?
It was scarier than this interview. It was like I wasn't sure if I was ready, because boot camp is learning on the go.
Yeah.
And that is not something that I thought I could do,
Mhm.
but it is swimming while you forgot to swim. So you just do it.
Yeah.
So, and that is brain game. You need to figure it out.
Mhm.
And by doing it, that's how you learn. And while you're doing it, the people are figuring it out too. So it's not just you, they
Mhm.
do it too. So we all figure it out. And the more we trust the process and the more we trust that we can't say anything wrong to the right people, it just goes.
Yeah. I love that. So then you walk them through the 10 weeks of mastering the brain game and you get to that final session and you go through week 10 with them. What were you feeling at the end of that week 10 session?
I feel amazing because people allowed themselves to have that dream, to
Yeah.
know what they want, and
Mhm.
to go for it. And that is what I love to do and see around me, that people just trust the process and are satisfied with how they live.
Yes.
So I was celebrating, just celebrating. I was so happy. And um yeah, I I can't give you any more um details about it because it was super fun.
Yeah. Ah, beautiful. And tell us a little bit about what the business training was like in boot camp for you.
All right, the business training behind bootcamp is profound and extraordinary. The business training that you get in Brain Game is a business training that you can use everywhere.
Yes.
So I stole it a little bit for
Yeah,
my business.
I would expect you to.
Because the simplicity and the clarity that you bring in there gives you so much confidence. th- I I I don't think there is anything that can beat that. So
Mm,
there's nothing to um, be worried over.
yeah.
It is it's trust for yourself, belief in yourself, and if you don't have it, you just borrow a little bit from somebody else.
That's right. That's right. I love it. So you've done something really unique, and I love that you brought up that you stole it for your other business because this is exactly what my intention is that the training from Brain Game moves out into the world and it has this ripple effect into other businesses and everything we do. And you do something very unique with the Brain Game. So I'm going to ask the final question. I'm going to let you just roll with it wherever you want to go. So you're going to share with us what you've done with the brain game, but in that, I also want you to answer what is your dream for the brain game?
Okay, so mastering the brain game, I brought it in my dog business called Joyful Support. And we are training in positive reinforcement. And dogs are our wonderful mirrors to
Mhm.
show us where we can do better. So
Yeah.
while I was doing brain game first myself, I was like, I think I ask you every week, like, I think that's the same with dogs, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
and and that is so amazing. So in the dog business that I have, I am training people to train their dogs. So I'm not training dogs because that's what everybody thinks, but I'm
Right.
not. But I'm training people to train dogs. And the most important thing in there is that the people get confidence that they can do it.
Yeah.
Because their dogs, they just show them how much confidence and belief they have.
Mhm.
So I'm working with people to instead of hearing from them, I don't want this and I don't want that and I don't want this, right? I'm asking them, what do you want?
Yeah.
And then people are like, huh? I've never thought about that. What do
Right.
you want?
Huh?
If I Yeah, and if I ask people, so if this was your dream dog, how would it look like? They never thought about that. So what we are doing is focusing on that dream dog, and there you go, the dreams come back again, right? And
Yes.
then when you know what your dream dog is, then we start to grow that belief in you and your dog. And that brings all the confidence. And you know what? If your dog gets confidence,
Mhm.
then you get confident. And when you
Mhm.
grow more confidence, your dog grows more confidence. So you're building each other together. And that's what I love in this brain game is it is another way how we learn to not just communicate and connect with ourselves, but also with the environment around us. And dogs are perfect to show us who they are and what you are for them.
Yeah, I love that so much. And it's such a unique way of moving the brain game out into the world because the dog is such a beautiful mirror for what's going on with us. And
Yes.
when we are working with the dog directly, we can't help but look in that mirror and go, oh, I see you, right?
Yes.
And it
Yes.
just helps us grow. And I love that you added that the more the dog gets more confident, then you get more confident, and it just goes back and forth, and it just amps up the confidence in both.
Yes. And then going from that, the brain game is all about choices that we make.
Mhm.
And that's what we brought in the dog business. However, the dog business was already there, but it became more clear for me
Yeah.
that in the dog business, we all talk about choices so that your dog chooses what feels best for the dog because that's what they want to do, right?
Yeah.
But because we're all so busy as humans and we don't take enough time and presence anymore for dogs, the dogs are like, yeah, I don't really like your emotions today. I really want to learn from you today, or I want to work with you. So
Mhm.
beside that they are the mirror, they also amplify how we are at that moment. And if we are not present, then they do something else. Or if our emotion is um, it come from a moment before, and then we think that we can train, then the dogs are like, no, not today.
Let me show you otherwise.
Yeah. But also, and that's what I tell people as well, if you are sad, then there is no better way than have a dog around you because that 9 meter bubble that goes to them as well, and they know they come and they will be there for you without any asking anything. And if we see that, then they help us to be aware from what emotions we all have.
Oh, that's
So
so beautiful.
dogs are just the best. I think all animals are
Oh,
great, but I'm doing a lot with the dogs, and I know horses have that too, right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So let me bring it back to the final question because I want to get a really clear, succinct answer from you. What is your dream for the brain game?
Hmm. My dream for the brain game is that um, worldwide, everybody enjoys a wonderful relation with their dog, are connected, and that the dogs help them to live life fully with love and joy and everything that you want on it.
Mm, I love it. Oh, that's so beautiful. Ariana, thank you so much for having this conversation with me today. I really appreciate you living the dream, first of all, and also moving the dream out there. So, for anybody who's listening or watching and would love to work with Ariana, who wants to know more about Ariana, we'll make sure that there is a link to get a hold of her. And if you are interested in becoming a brain game coach, there is a link in the show notes below or beside this video somewhere that will allow you to connect with me and we'll have a conversation. Thank you so much, Ariana.
Awesome. Thank you, Cindy, for giving me the opportunity. And let's bring this to the world.
Yes, yes.